You're watching Fine and Dandy. Cheers.
Hi, my name's Cameron, and you need to check out the Fine and Dandy podcast.
You are now watching Fine and Dandy.
Watch the Fine and Dandy podcast. Good shit.
Hey, what's up? We're Soe, and you're watching Fine and Dandy.
Hey everyone, it's your boy Blacasso, and you're tuning in with Fine and Dandy.
You are now watching Fine and Dandy!
Bueno, sí.
That was good. Good stuff.
That was a good clap.
All right. We're going to start. All right. Welcome back to Fine and Dandy. Thank you for tuning in. Houston's favorite podcast. We got a good friend here, Donavon Darby, but as me and a lot of our friends know him, just Darby. We're glad to have him in today. We're going to talk about a lot of fun stuff. He has his own company where he sells a lot of his stuff online. Do you sell in person too, or is it mostly just online trade?
It's a mixture of both. I can't really call it, but yeah, I do local deliveries, local pickup, in certain radius of miles.
He is the delivery man.
Yeah, so I deliver.
It's your local deliverer.
Yeah.
I mean, that's where the online comes in, right?
Yeah, that's definitely have to ship that through USPS or something, you know. But yeah, I can get it to you 2 business days.
Have you ever thought about doing like events, like shows and stuff, like local shows and concerts and whatnot?
I have. I'm really trying to get into the farmers market scene. I want to get more hands on. But what I've been struggling with right now is my garden. I want to start using my garden to, for my products. I want to source everything from my garden. But this year, as y'all know, our drought was crazy. I couldn't grow a tomato if I wanted to. Like the amount of water that I needed, it was crazy. But everything's picking back up. I got about like 10 different watermelon plants, 20 different pepper plants. I got a whole bed section of lettuce and herbs. So, that's what I've really been waiting on, so I can just come full force. But in the meantime, if you've been following me on social media, you know what I've been talking about. I always started off with sea moss, but then now I've been kind of redirecting to herbs and seasonings and salts of the earth. So, I mean, we're getting there. It's just I'm a little surgical in my methods. So I just try.
That's probably a good way to be about it. Honestly.
Yeah.
What'd you start out with in the garden now? What was your when you first started growing your stuff in the garden? What'd you start off with?
It's gonna sound cheesy, but it was a mustard seed.
Really?
Oh, nice.
Really?
Yeah. Is there
like
a lot of application for mustard seed? Like they could use that for a lot of stuff, don't they?
Yeah. So mustard seeds actually is a spice. Like if you eat any type of barbecue, especially like ribs or anything, like most chefs will tell you they marinate that whole before they even put the layer of seasoning on there. They just rub it down in mustard seed. It's like got a spicy, pungent, yet sweet flavor.
It does. So funny enough, in the restaurant I work at, we make a spicy ketchup from mustard seed.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's made with mustard seed.
Yeah, and then of course, mustard comes from mustard seed.
Yeah.
Like the actual condiment. Yeah, I think they take the mustard seed flowers and they mix it with vinegar and whatever spices you want.
I'm obsessed with mustard, dude. Like spicy mustard. So
yeah.
I'll never eat ketchup. Like I don't think anyone that knows me will ever see me use ketchup.
You're not a ketchup guy?
No, I'm not really like a sweet guy. I like rich. I like rich flavors, bitter flavors, spicy flavors. So I like fresh onions on stuff too because they're kind of spicy, right? Technically, but mustard and mustard seed is like that's. You said you had like how many peppers?
I got 20 different pepper plants.
I'm obsessed with peppers.
Really?
Yeah,
me too.
You're talking a pepper guy. Bro.
Okay, yeah. So I do all organic seeds, heirloom seeds. So I got this pepper variety pack, and I was just like, hey, let me try it out. So I got some shishito peppers growing, some fish peppers, Hungarian wax peppers. Then the basic peppers like bell peppers, cayenne peppers, jalapenos, Anaheim, poblano. And
ghost
there's
pepper?
one more. I didn't do the ghost pepper because I knew I wasn't gonna eat it. I knew I wasn't.
I'll eat it.
I'll
tell you right now, there's a lot of people that eat that. Me being one of them.
Oh really? Oh okay.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I see people starting to use a lot of ghost peppers like in restaurants and stuff now. Like people are doing the ghost peppers.
It's an addiction, so people build a tolerance to it. So, more and more people are starting to eat it because more and more people are getting spicier and spicier. You know what I mean with their sauces. So
wasn't that like one of the peppers in one of those? What was that one chip challenge thing they had?
Paqui?
Is that what it's
Kiwi,
called?
yeah.
Was that a ghost pepper or is it a reaper pepper?
I think it's like a multiple peppers.
No, so
It
they
might
have the
be. I've had one
capsaicin.
before, but I don't remember what pepper
They
it
have the
was. I did do
capsaicin.
the challenge though.
But Pakwee does have a ghost pepper flavored chip. It's hot, but it's
Nice.
not that hot. Like I
Yeah,
like
ghost
those. Those
pepper's
are
like
good.
smoky.
Yeah, that chip is really good. It is spicy. Like it's
For sure.
spicier than most want to eat. Like
Yeah.
it's delicious.
Like the
Yeah.
average person's not gonna want to do that.
You don't have to go chug a gallon of milk afterwards.
No. Like I'll
Yeah.
I'll finish the whole bag and I'll need to drink a beverage, but it's not like, I'm not like sweating or anything.
Oh,
For me
okay.
personally, I mean, everyone's spice tolerance is different than the next person's. So with the peppers, do you try to learn each like benefit for each pepper? Like when you grow something in your garden, do you try to know its uses entirely before you move on and putting it in something?
Well, I want to know the basics of it first, and then as it grows, I start learning more of it. So like I know all peppers are really rich in vitamin C and also iron. Especially the spicier the pepper, the more iron it has. That's why it has that red coloring to it. See, anytime you see something in nature that's red, that's iron oxide. You know what I mean?
Wow. Okay. That's so like somebody if they were a vegetarian and they don't eat red meat, right?
It's a good source of
Then
iron.
they could actually get it from peppers.
Right. It's a good source of iron. Obviously not better than like greens, leafy greens, but you're still getting iron when you eat peppers. So like even if you're not vegan and you want to spice up your dish, it'll add some flavor and it also put some iron into the iron and vitamin C. And the thing about vitamin C is you kind of see this on ingredient labels sometimes. Vitamin C is also known as absorbic acid, and what it does is help you absorb things more, like
as far as your stomach.
Yeah, so you'll actually absorb more of the nutrients if it's a higher presence of vitamin C. I don't know, like when we were younger and we used to take our multivitamins, our one-a-days or whatever, they would always tell you to take it with citric acid. I don't know if y'all have heard that, but my doctor used to tell me.
My mom and in the field, so she's
Yeah, you take it with citric acid and it dissolves and it helps you absorb it faster and more of it. Yeah, so they're pretty good. And then I really like them for the flavor. And then the cool thing about pepper plants is it's not a 1-year crop. So like I have really teeny tiny branches right now, right? And even now they're starting to like branch out and growing more pepper. It's like a mini tree and it starts forming a bush. And depending on how harsh the winter is this year, you never know around here.
I think we're actually supposed to have a pretty strong winter this year.
Really? Okay.
I think so, yeah.
I mean, you saw the heat.
Yeah, so it's kind of going to back and forth, yeah. I think it'll be okay, but I know that if it gets below a certain temperature with certain plants, especially the tropical variety, they go dormant.
So, you were saying you try to use some type of seed at the very beginning, not to circle back around. You said you try to use a certain type of seed.
Which you talking about, the mustard seed?
No, just with all your plants. You said you try to get something, but
I think the first thing I started growing was mustard seeds, and then I've had a couple. Like I've planted I've been having my garden for about 2 years now.
I saw you did watermelons at one point too, right?
Yeah, I did watermelons last year. That happened on accident. So the story behind the watermelon, I don't think I've ever told the story. So I just made a garden bed and I was just trying to grow like greens. Like I was just trying to grow greens. I was growing collard greens, mustard greens, arugula, romaine lettuce, basil, and this plant called amaranth. I don't know if you've heard of it. Amaranth.
What is that?
It's related to spinach, and it gets really tall. It can get to up to 10 feet tall sometimes. And I got several of them. If you go on my profile, you'll see the pictures. It's the red plant, and it has all the flowers hanging over and everything.
What is your profile, real quick, just for the people?
So I have two profiles. I have a profile for the Donovan New Era, and that's at the Donovan New Era 13, and that's on Instagram, Snapchat, Facebook as well.
Can you spell that out? 'Cause I know.
Okay. That's DONOVANEWERA 13. Yeah. So Donovan New Era 13. Obviously, it's a pun on my name, Donovan. The Donovan New Era. Yeah. And then my you'll see my plants and stuff at will be on the Farmer Dawn channel, and that's Darby777. And I only have an Instagram for that one right now.
All right, so the spinach plant, and then you said you were growing those, or not the spinach, it was the
Which one?
The one that's 10 feet tall.
Oh yeah, that's the amaranth. So it's in
Amaranth.
the spinach family, and it has a unique taste. It doesn't taste that far from spinach, but a lot of people don't grow it, and you can't really find it in stores. But it is probably one of the most powerful greens on earth. It has like one of the highest amount of lysines, and the seeds are what they call a fake grain. So like the seeds you can use as a grain, so you can substitute it for rice. You can even make popcorn out of it.
Whoa, really?
Yeah. You can make flour out of it, and it's really healthy alternative.
What's a
Oh,
lysine?
that's pretty cool.
Lysine is a chemical. It's naturally occurring in the body, but lysine is a chemical that basically it's antiviral killer. Like even people who go to like health clinics and different things, they'll always tell you step up your lysine, or get more lysine in your diet. Or even if you just Google, you want to be a Google wizard and look up how to get rid of any type of viral, whether it's the flu, maybe it's like a chronic illness, a chronic virus, or even something like along the sexual side, like STDs and stuff. It'll always tell you eat foods rich in lysine. Lysine and iron, you can never go wrong, especially iron.
I love the term Google wizard. I
Oh,
just want to say
Yeah,
that.
it's Google Wizard.
Google,
Yeah.
just if
Yeah.
you want to be a Google
University.
wizard.
Google
Yeah,
Wizard.
and I mean, it's a lot of misinformation out there now because so many people have their own platforms and different things. But I mean, you just kind of gotta take it with a grain of salt. Like you kind of gotta get the facts and then search facts. So you find one fact, one legitimate fact, then you go off on that fact. Like if you kind of listen to one source, it's not necessarily there's going to be some misinformation in there, but they may not have the full picture of what you're trying to understand. You know?
You can carry that to a lot of different
Yeah,
things.
not just
plants,
yeah,
right?
everything, literally everything.
What's your what's your learning process about the plants? What's your researching process? What makes you decide what plant to do and why you feel like that's an important one for you, that you should grow?
Well, first, I'm already familiar with the plant kingdom, because at one point I was vegan, probably about 2013 to 2015 I was vegan, and ever since then, I mean, I'm not vegan anymore. I really don't believe in the titles of vegan. I don't believe in vegan, vegetarian, keto. It's not that I don't believe in it. I respect people who have those titles. It's just that I know that I'm not going to commit to a title, and what really opened my mind to that was I remember one time, I think I was at a farmer's market or a co-op or something, and this girl told me that I couldn't be vegan because I ate honey.
I'm sorry.
By technicality.
That's
By
super
technicalities.
technical, but it's like,
I mean, what?
Yes,
yes.
it can't come from any
So anything-
animal.
Well,
into-
do the bees excrete it, or do they just gather the pollen and use it?
they excrete
I'm not
it.
really sure. I don't. Okay, they do.
They excrete
Okay.
it.
I don't
Actually,
know how that works.
Actually, I believe it's their vomit.
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah, it's
That's
their
tasty.
vomit. Yeah,
No, I
it's-
like that.
Yeah,
I love honey.
Yeah, yeah.
I hope you brought some honey.
Oh yeah, I did actually. I got some right here, some raw clover honey.
It kind of gave me a
Yeah.
craving.
Yeah.
If we're gonna try that a little bit, but you know what's something that's funny that stuck with me for this entire time? Like I think you told me maybe 7 years ago,
Mm-hmm.
but you were like, "Hey, mushrooms are the chicken of the forest," and I don't know why.
Oh,
That was probably one of the funniest things. But dude, I say that so much, it's stupid. Like people, dude, I love mushrooms. I'm like, hey, did you know that mushrooms are the chicken of the
Like Anchorman.
Chicken of
Bats
the-
are the chicken of the cave.
Yeah.
Chicken of the forest.
In a way, though, I think I understand what he means now in terms of protein and stuff like that. They kind of,
right.
mu-
They
yeah,
can be a
yeah,
subset. There's a lot of different mushrooms out there, and a lot of them can be substitutes for other things.
Mhm.
Because mushrooms there's so much variety.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and,
It's
I mean,
thousands of them.
Yeah, edible, non-edible, medicinal. Psychological.
Yeah, definitely. Mm-hmm.
What was that? There was a mushroom documentary that they made not too long ago. It was something mycelium, dude. I think.
Oh, it's the guy. I can never remember his name.
Is
It's that-
it a Paul
Yeah.
Stamets documentary?
Paul
Yeah,
Stamets.
yes.
Big
Yes,
thank you
he
to
has
Josh
the glasses,
for the Paul Stamets tip.
the circle hat all the time. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He's the one that did the he's the one doing the Save the Bees thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I think he even has this thing where you can put a pollen thing in your you can buy it from his website and put it in your yard, and it has a chip in it that connects to his website and you can literally monitor it because it's like the pollen you get
Mm-hmm.
has the antibacterial mushroom like in it. So you buy it from his website, and then you can actually see, like, to a degree, the way that you're helping the bees in your area, right? Because you can see the use it's getting, and that's pretty cool.
No,
I always thought that was really cool.
That is really cool. I see a lot of bees in my garden, and it's like I let some of my plants flower on purpose just for the local wildlife, like butterflies, moths. Surprisingly, wasps are pollinators too. I see them.
I mean, that would make sense.
Yeah, but I mean,
I didn't know that, but that does make sense.
I'm not really a wasp person. But hey, if they want to help pollinate my garden, and they kind of protect it too because a lot of other insects are scared of wasps. But it sucks when I have to get in the garden and it's full of wasps. So I don't like to get too out of control.
What would be a reason that you don't let your plants flower?
See, once it flowers, a plant starts to lose its vitality. So it's like more.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it depends on the type of plant. So like if we're talking like a green or a lettuce, the green is gonna get bitter. Like, so say for example, romaine lettuce. If you let your romaine lettuce flower, it's not gonna be really good eating. It's edible, but that's gonna be some very bitter lettuce. And once it flowers,
I did not know that.
How do you know when the right time?
Well, with lettuce, you kind of want to, once it's gotten to a decent size, like you probably see the salad mixings like baby lettuce, mixed baby lettuce. Well, once they get to that baby size, you want to just kind of start clipping them sometimes. And once you keep clipping them, it will force them to grow more, so they won't focus on flowering. If you don't mess with it and you don't clip them and prune them, they'll just force themselves to flower under the right conditions, especially if it's hot. Because they have a very short life cycle. Lettuces, they have a very short life cycle.
Does it also grow really quickly?
Yes, you can have a full head of lettuce. Well, depending on the variety, but like say like romaine lettuce or butter leaf lettuce, like you use on a hamburger, you can have a full head of lettuce within probably like 3 to 4 weeks if you're taking care of it properly.
How much do you need to grow? Like if you wanted to be somebody that like if they wanted to do it at home, like how much would you want to grow if you have a house, say, with a backyard?
I mean, that just depends on your needs of eating it. Because I promise you, if you do like I did and grow way more than you need, you're gonna have way more than you need. And some of those actually are gonna flower. They're gonna become bitter. And depending on the time of year, like this year, I had really bad caterpillars, and like they were just. It was to the point where I'm checking on my lettuce, and it's just like a caterpillar here that they sleep there. Like I've seen them at night and daytime. So it's like And back to what you're saying, what makes me decide what to grow, it's based on what I already eat, So,
okay. You don't focus it on like what you think people will buy or something. It's more.
No,
no.
Actually, because I never even thought of selling it when I first started my garden. This was just to be self-sustainable, and then from there I started getting ideas like, oh wow, I actually can do that. Because I mean, I've always gardened, but not to this extent. So this is my first real go at like gardening full time, like garden bed, mulching, fertilizer, everything. And then also, because I like to eat organic veggies, and a lot of I don't know if you ever seen an organic section and produce section. It's very small and it's very expensive. Like if you was to get, even if they have them, like organic collard greens, that's one of my favorite greens, collard greens. They're like $3 for like 6 leaves, like $3.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So
I never really paid attention to it, to be honest.
Yeah,
it's already so expensive. I just kind of like get what I need and then take the pain when I get to the register.
Right. Yeah. I mean, collard greens those are some of the cheapest things in the store. They're like 99 cents a bunch. I think because of inflation, they're like $1.20 now. Mustard greens, turnip greens, they're all the same. They're not supposed to be more than $1 a bunch, But because of the organic certification and different things, farmers can charge more, and it's a lot harder to be an organic farmer because the seeds cost more. You have to have different certifications and everything. So, I just like to get my own heirloom seeds and grow them in my own backyard. And then it's like I basically have a produce section in my backyard.
That's what I was talking about, the heirloom seeds. You said, like, when you first started, you said something about heirloom seeds, and I was like, I don't know what that means, so I'm assuming anybody listening might not know what that means. So, like, what is that? What is the difference?
Heirloom variety is basically, how's the best way to put it? I mean, it's kind of like heirloom. So, like, if you think of an heirloom, it's like an antique. It's antique, so it's been grown for however many years. It varies depending on what type of plant you're talking about. But it's a species that has been preserved to not mess up the genes. So,
okay.
So it's remained the same over several generations.
I know that.
Yeah, that's why I'm glad I asked.
That is kind of insane. Do you ever get attached to your plants at all? Like, do you like attached to the process or?
Yeah, I get attached to all of them, man. It's like one. It's like I see them all as like little children that I'm raising. You know what I mean?
Do you like fall in love with the process too? Like with the caterpillars and stuff, do you ever go out there sometimes you're like,
well, the coolest thing about that is, I mean, I did get rid of some of them, and caterpillars are really weird, and I squashed one. I know you're not supposed to hurt the animals and everything, but this one had literally just was ransacking me. So I said, I'm just going to use this one as an example.
He said, this one's been making a mockery of me. I'm
just to crush the rebellion.
Right. Yeah, right. So I ended up cutting his head off.
Oh my! Execute.
And it has like it had this weird green slimy blood, and it was just all over the place. But I think it worked. But then I found another one. I found another one on the other side of the garden, and I didn't even try to kill it, but I ended up stepping on it with the garden boots, and I guess I squished it in half. And the craziest thing ever happened. It was still crawling, but they were crawling in two different ways.
Oh man.
Yeah,
that's just a nerve thing.
Yeah, I was like, what in the world? And like, I came back 30 minutes later, he's still like crawling for one half of his body, and then the other half of his body. I was like, you know what? I'm not even gonna finish you off. You deserve that. You deserve to live. You know.
You deserve to live.
Like
if he lived, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know what happened. Oh, but
sounds like a tough one to survive.
Yeah, I don't know how to. I was waiting for him to like start reattaching his body or something the way he was going.
Then I would probably call like maybe I don't know the CIA.
I know, right?
If that's, I don't know, some type of government official. If that happened,
I know, right? Just get a knock on the door from Menace. Yes, we're looking for Mr. Darby. We need to speak with him.
So, like, I mean. I guess the big issue is they just eat all the plants.
No, that's the thing. You think you will, but you're not. You're not gonna eat. Well, if you start gardening with a good enough.
Oh, I meant the caterpillars. Like they just destroy the plants. Basically.
Yeah. Especially in spring, right after the last frost. That's when all the caterpillars come out. But the good thing about that is it only lasts from about March to late May, and then after late May they all go pupa. You know they get in their cocoons.
You don't spray anything on your plants though, like to avoid it, or like
I put black pepper on the ground if I have to. Black pepper, cayenne pepper, chili pepper. Neem oil is really good.
What is that?
Neem oil. It's a plant. It's a medicinal plant. It has a horrible foul smell, and it's really good for you if you use it on your skin and your mouth and stuff, and it probably heal almost any wound. But it's just a really foul smell, and apparently no animal no creature likes it because I don't even like. And then also another thing I do is I like to do companion planting. So what that is you try to plant plants together that like are in symbiosis. So like around my lettuce, I planted basil, and the smell of the basil helps with the pest. And
they don't like basil?
No, they don't like mostly any herbs. Basil, lavender, sage, mint, chamomile, talking about clove, rosemary.
So that's kind of interesting. What do you like? So what type of pests don't like that? Are you talking about like flies? You talking about like
almost no pest likes it. Now they'll tolerate it if the risk is worth the discomfort, they'll still go for it. Like I've seen rats still come in, like, and I have like a basil forest, and like I've seen rats still go in there, and I still have a rabbit that comes in there, and I can't tell if it's a rat or a rabbit, but in the last 2 weeks they've damaged like 2-3 watermelons. But every time I go outside, it's a rabbit in the watermelon patch. So I'm thinking it's the rabbit. So
Probably.
I don't know, but like I say, with the watermelon patch, I don't really have that many companion plants around it because they kind of just took over. So I planted some lavender, but the thing about watermelon is watermelon will shade out almost every other plant.
Is it a weed?
It's not a weed.
No,
it grows almost like a pumpkin patch because they're in the same family. So pumpkins and watermelons are in the same family.
Do you know what that family is in specific? For me, I guess for anyone watching, 'cause I don't know. Yeah.
I always call it the melon family, but if I had to go off the top of my head, I'm not even gonna go. I know it's.
Look it up, actually.
Cute.
For everybody, right?
Is
here.
it cucumber?
Yeah.
Cucumber? You said?
It's cucumber. No, it's not cucumber, but it may be like cucumbers.
Oh, nice.
It's in the squash family. Squash, melons, cucumbers, all in the same family. So
you're cucurbits.
Yes, there we are.
Cucurbitak. Shit, dude. Cucurbitak. I need it. Does this have like a thing where you can listen to it? It's cucurbitake. Bitake. Cucurbitake. Or cucurbitous.
I need to know what this is.
Also called the cucurbitous or the ground family. Let's call it the ground family. We're gonna call it the ground. The ground family.
The ground family.
We'll stick with
It's
that.
a bigger umbrella. I like that.
Yeah, that's why I always just say the melon family because I can never get it right.
Yeah, melon, squashes, gourds, cucumbers are in there. Pumpkins.
Will you be growing pumpkins right now?
Oh man,
I mean, it might be a little, I guess, late in the season to start.
Yeah, because actually, what a lot of people don't know is pumpkins actually love heat. You can't grow pumpkins in the cold.
Really?
Yeah, but they're always associated with fall time and everything. But pumpkins don't like the cold.
But that would make sense because the harvest, it's around the fall time.
Yeah,
So
I mean,
they're
like,
harvesting after it's all done, and then the pumpkins are ready.
They
for
have been
people.
growing. They have been growing all summer.
Then, yeah.
That makes sense.
How do you preserve stuff if it's like? I mean, I imagine you're not submerging it or anything. Like you're probably not. Like, I mean, you can't pickle everything, right?
No, you can't. The best way, it just depends on what you're using. Like with greens, they'll last like 2 weeks if you have them in the proper setup. Like, so you can do two things with greens. You could chop off the ends a little bit, and it's what and keep them in water, like kind of like roses or flowers or anything. Or you can also they have these bags that because what makes something rot is the gases that is given off by the plant, because the gases that is given off are the opposite of what it needs, right? Because they give off oxygen.
And like carbon dioxide. Or
But they need carbon dioxide.
Like we are though. You
so it's
you
the
breathe in
carbon
carbon dioxide.
So it's like if you were stuck in a room with no flowing oxygen and you just breathing carbon dioxide, eventually it's just going to be carbon dioxide around. So you start to rot and die with it. So it's these bags that kind of slow down that process. They're like these yellow bags. I forgot the name of the exact gas. But I've seen plants last up to 3-4 weeks in those. And then also another thing you can do is freeze them.
Oh yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
Just like you see on the vegetable aisle, you have frozen broccoli, frozen cauliflower, frozen squash. You can freeze anything. You know what I mean? So yeah.
I just learned today that if you put berries in a jar, they last longer.
Yeah, berries in a jar. I think even if you just put them in a jar by itself, they'll last long because the oxidization is what gets to them. And then it's also you can submerge them in salt water as well. Salt water or baking soda.
The berries?
Oh,
nice.
You can do that with almost anything.
What is up with that? Because like the way they used to carry food across on like ships, like moving from Europe to here, was they would just put everything in salt. Like, what's with the salt? What is that? I mean, I don't know if you know, but like,
definitely. So salt is like, I don't know which way to describe. It's everything. So salt is actually the basis of all life. Is salt. Yes,
literally. Yeah, it used to be super valuable. Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
The man who had the most salts of the earth had all the riches.
Yeah, no joke. Probably because they had the most preserved food.
Right. That makes a lot of sense, right? But I mean, salt can be used in everything. I mean,
wounds and shit too, right?
Yeah, wounds. I mean, even think about when your throat is hurting, the first thing you do is gargle salt water.
Yeah, saline water.
Someone swears by the fact that
water
like
for a lot of stuff in the medical field.
they never get sick.
I think that's what IVs are mostly comprised of.
Saline water, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It helps you
crazy.
preserve fluids if you don't have too much of it. Like you have too much of it, you get dehydrated.
Right.
But you need it to contain the fluid in you, right?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because if you don't have the right magnesium levels, because what salt does, natural salt, not table salt. Table salt has been modified, chemically altered. So, like, just for example, this is Celtic salt. This is one. This has been
Your own brand?
Huh?
Your own brand?
Oh yeah, this Donovan New Era salt.
Can you cut that real quick just to him? This is right here, just hold that up.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, one of the bigger bags today, and what is that you got there too?
Oh,
The sea moss?
Yeah, this is sea moss. Yeah, this is sea moss. And I'm going to break it down how this and this kind of work tangent, and they almost the same thing.
Okay, start with the salt.
Okay. So,
Yeah, we're on the salt. We're on the salt.
Yeah.
Okay, so Celtic sea salt, there's many different salts. For every place on earth, there's a different type of salt. But there are some that's more powerful than others. So Celtic sea salt, I don't know if you've seen it on TikTok or anything, but it's really been trending lately. So this comes from French clay pools over there in France. And that's why it has this grayish tint to it. So that's actually a gray clay that naturally forms in these ponds. And what it does is, so the human body is 70% water, right? But the water is not just water, like we drink in a water bottle. It's mostly salt water. And the one substance on earth that mimics the human body's composition, the liquid composition, is seawater, because seawater contains 92 minerals and vitamins naturally occurring out of the 102 vitamins in the human body. So when you have sea salt that hasn't been chemically altered and stripped of its iodine and magnesium and phosphorus and potassium, you get almost like this is where your electrolytes is. If you look into Powerade and Gatorade, the highest, if you look on the nutrition facts, the most prevalent element is sodium.
Yeah, that's what that's what hydrates you. Like that's the taste you get most of the time.
Right.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
it's the soda.
Yeah.
It's funny. Me and Josh watched the whole video on that.
Oh, okay,
actually.
okay.
Yeah, me and Josh watched the whole video on a bunch of sports drinks and why some of them are
Worth
mostly
it or
shitting
not
on
worth
Prime.
it.
It was
Yeah.
shitting on Prime mostly,
Yeah.
but yeah,
Yeah.
for the most part.
Yeah. So what Prime, the Prime drinks?
Yeah, what is Prime?
Is
I
that the
never
ones that
heard
had
of
like it's like black and they had like the bananas on pictures?
They just have the new ones, I think. Yeah, that are like that. But
Oh, I'm
Prime
thinking
is
of body.
body
I'm thinking of
Logan
body.
Paul-
armor.
no.
Yeah, I'm thinking of body armor.
body armors are good too. Body armors are actually one of the better ones that have like it's
Yeah,
like
those
the
taste
Gatorade's up there
great.
at the top, and then body armors are like up there with Gatorade. But Prime is mostly sugar. But also, I think it's because it's Logan Paul. He's gearing towards kids and shit. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
So-
right. He's got an audience. Yeah.
Yeah. So you're gonna want to gear towards that. Which I mean, that's brandy. Yeah, you can't. But it's not in terms of. I mean, we're getting off topic here. But in terms of sports drinks, you want salts. Salts are and along with the other stuff like B vitamins or what is it? Right?
Yeah, B complex vitamins
And
yeah.
stuff like that.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the pink clay.
Okay. Yeah. So
Yeah.
this one has a gray clay. So this one comes from France. It's Celtic sea salt or Celtic. That's how you say it. Celtic, not Celtic, but Celtic sea salt. It's also known as French gray salt. So if you ask a chef or anybody who works with salts a lot, they would know this more as French gray salt versus Celtic salt.
We definitely added in culinary for some stuff, for sure.
Were you in culinary?
I was in culinary.
Oh
yeah.
happened?
wow.
Just
I did it throughout high school, and I think we got third place in the state competition,
go on.
which was
just-
it was pretty awesome.
And
that's
then
pretty cool.
But it was the whole first half of it was all just nutrition. We didn't even get to cook. It was just like that
important.
and the anatomy. But no, I was forced to cook all the time, and then I stopped liking it because I had to do it.
That's fair.
That was it. It's
Wait,
pretty
so
easy.
I had a question with the sea salt. Like you're saying, like our body is composed of sea salt. Maybe you know, if not, that's cool too. But I was just wondering, like, so why is it that when we drink seawater, is it because it has a bunch of other stuff in it too? Like we get dehydrated when we drink
It's
ocean water.
Yeah, but I think the idea of that also comes from you being baked out in the sun,
Too much
That's
salt.
why they say you don't want to drink the seawater if you're like out in the middle of it. You know what I mean? Because
it dehydrates
if you're
you too.
lost
I think.
in the ocean, you're sitting under the sun, baking and drinking salt
Right.
constantly.
I mean, we've all been to the beach and we swallowed a mouthful of sea salt and stuff. You know, it didn't make you go crazy. But what it is there has to be a certain balance between the levels of sodium, and most of the time in a moving sea, those sea salt levels are not in balance with the human body. You know what I mean? So,
That's fair. I mean, especially with our body needs and like along with all the other complexities.
And then the average human diet, we probably already have too much sodium. So we might have too much sodium and not enough magnesium, especially if we eat a lot of seasoning salts, table salts. These have sodium, the element sodium, you know, sodium chloride, which is salt, but it doesn't have magnesium. And magnesium is like what it sounds like. It's a magnet. So basically, in order for your cells to function properly, they need salt. So magnesium pulls the potassium and sodium into the cells. And a lot of people who have problems with weight, a lot of people who have fluid retention, or like you might drink, people who drink a lot of water, they're like, I drank so much water today and I'm still dehydrated. And it just goes right through you. It's because there's no magnesium in that water to pull it into the cells. Because once the water's being pulled into the cells, there's no waste to excrete. See what I'm saying?
Oh, that makes sense. So say you were like bodybuilding and you were doing like a really final cut to do, you know, like for your competition or whatever, and you really wanted to lose even the water weight. Like, would you cut down on magnesium, just like maybe even temporarily to try to like really flush it out, or would you?
No, you would actually use more magnesium because, or I mean, in that case, you really just want to fast, really, honestly.
Yeah,
you just really want to fast, because you need water. Your muscles need water. But if you're trying to get that cut, that's more of a, you know, I'm not a bodybuilder expert, but I know that you probably just want to keep up your workouts and stay hydrated. But I don't really think the magnesium intake would matter as much as what workouts they did that.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
I think you're thinking about holding in the water weight, holding the water weight.
Yeah,
and
No, so so without the magnesium, that's what holds the water weight. You see what I'm saying? Because once you have the magnesium, the water can go into the cell, then the cell can do its thing, and now the body is in function. Yeah, you know what I mean? Whereas if you don't have the magnesium, it sits outside of the cells. That's why people get swelling, different diseases like the gout or high blood pressure, because it's so much sodium sitting outside the walls of the cell. Well, in reality, sodium is the most prevalent element outside of the cell. And then potassium is the most prevalent element inside the cell. So you need magnesium as a bridge for both of those, because anything with sodium naturally, right, is supposed to have potassium in it. It's supposed to have magnesium and potassium in it. So if you're eating natural salts, it's going to pull that in, making the cell work properly. And then also salt isn't, like what it says, it's an electrolyte. Now, like, we forget this sometimes, but the body actually runs on electricity, you know. So that's why you need electrolytes for energy, because salt is a conductor of electricity. And I remember when I was in 5th grade, I did a science experiment. I called it "Let There Be Light," and
Nice.
and I was able to light up a light bulb with using, I think I used a D-volt battery, and made a conduit, made a circuit with a light bulb and salt water. And
it went through the salt water.
Right, yeah. And lit those.
So you didn't use wiring, right? You just used the salt water?
No, I used wiring.
Okay, well,
because I still needed the battery.
Right. Yeah. Okay. That's pretty cool.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you take a biology class?
I took a biology class in 9th grade.
Mostly your own
like
stuff,
all
though?
the,
Like,
yeah,
just learning from what you've been doing, like ongoing?
Yeah, I learned that, and then I do my own research, and yeah, I've always been like a scientist at heart.
Yeah, you've retained a lot of information for somebody that wasn't forced to do it. You know,
yeah,
like because of class they were taking, or like a. I mean, I guess you could say it is a career objective if that's your plan with it, but. I mean, you've retained a lot of information by just doing your own reading not in a classroom setting, which is pretty crazy.
Oh,
pretty,
yeah,
there's
yeah.
not a lot of people that do that.
Yeah, I've always. I mean, I was pretty. I was pretty intelligent most of my
He was in
life.
the debate team.
Yeah,
I was
Really?
I was on
Yeah,
it with
that's
him.
a
I was
secret.
I
terrible.
could totally see that.
That's a
I was
secret that
terrible.
nobody really knows.
You not so much.
Yeah, I was
Nah,
bad.
I'm just kidding.
I was bad. I was
Yeah.
really bad. But yeah, he was in debate with me. Funny enough. Actually.
Yeah, we were definitely in debate.
I
Yeah.
don't even know if my school had a debate team.
They all do. You just don't know about it.
Yeah, dude.
I
Ours,
feel like-
ours was like, yeah, that's true.
I think shout out to Allie Castellanos. I don't know if she was or not, but I think she might have. She probably would have been really good at it.
Mm-mm.
Oh, we weren't that good.
Yeah,
though.
no, we were.
We were
weren't
not- we
good
weren't
at
that
all,
good, dude.
especially after what you call him left. What was his name? Garcia. Is it Garcia?
Maybe.
No, Orlando. It was Orlando.
I know who you're talking about.
Is it Ryan?
Yeah,
Is it Ryan?
potentially.
I think
It's
we,
been
we
so long.
lost to Orlando. We lost to Orlando.
And then it was all downhill from there.
Yeah,
Yeah, we were all like,
Orlando.
whatever. Yeah, we're all
Yeah,
over.
we-
alright.
we-
We're all over
yeah,
the place.
We weren't disciplined enough.
No, we weren't.
Yeah.
Coming back to, so what would be some just I know I just wanted to ask because it's been on my mind.
Yeah.
What are some uses for that salt? You would say if someone was using that at home just for anything like cooking, or would you use that for?
So
like
this is
other
gonna have one of the
applications?
salty. This is gonna have one of the saltiest flavors because this is the the composition of this one is the closest to seawater.
Do you have other salts?
Yeah.
Is that what these are here?
Yeah. So these are part of my salts of the earth collection. I didn't bring
The
all
Earth
of them.
collection list.
Salts of the earth
The
collection.
Earth collection. I love that, dude. That's like a cologne brand or something.
Salts of the earth. So what are the other ones you have here? So there was the French gray salt you said, or otherwise known as the Celtic salt.
Mhm.
What are the other two salts that you had here?
So this is Pacific sea salt. So this one is just sea salt, came from the Pacific Ocean.
Nice.
Just no additives, no fillers, no chemicals. Just it's sun drying. They just evaporate the water. Take the
It
salt
comes
that's
straight out
left.
there.
Yeah.
So with the clay, how do you know the process of that? Because I know you said
It's a natural process. So they're not actually mixing it. It's just the ponds that it grows in over in France. It's already mixed into it. So like the dirt. Like I don't know if you ever dug a hole in the backyard or something, and you start seeing it has like red clay. Like down
the
here
red
in
clay,
Texas,
the clay.
we have like red clay if you dig deep enough.
yeah.
So in France, they have a grayish clay
And
in
it just
their
extracts
pond.
it from the clay or what?
Yeah,
Oh.
So it just naturally forms. So if you was to scoop the water out of pond and let it evaporate, it's gonna have salt that's mixed in with the clay. Does that make sense?
Yeah. And what's the last salt? You
And
got?
this one is real salt. Like a lot of people don't know about this one, but this one is one of the rarest, if not the rarest.
$1,000.
no, I wish.
Okay.
But no. So what's cool about this one is it only grow. It doesn't grow because it's not a living organism. So that's why. So I have to say all natural and non-GMO. Kosher salts because actually salts, they never were a living organism. So by USDA qualifications and standards, you can't. It's no such thing as organic salt because it would have to be an organism to be organic.
Oh, right.
Right.
It's all natural.
Yeah, this is natural as you can get. You're right.
natural.
Yeah.
So what's the real difference between all of them if someone doesn't know, and what would you use those things in terms? Is like I said, would you use them for cooking? Is it for like health purposes? I know you said they can all be used for or salt in general can use be for all of them. Is there specific things you would use all of them for, or what would be the differences here? If we're looking at it?
So how I go about it is and let me finish this about real salt. So real salt, this is a salt coming from an ancient seabed in Utah. So during the Jurassic period, back when the dinosaurs used to roam the earth, there was an inland sea in Utah, and that's why you have like the capital, Salt Lake City, right? Because these is remnants of the ocean that used to be in Utah. So it's a lot of salt deposits in Utah, also Colorado too. That whole little area, it was inland sea. So it's a lot of leftover salt deposits. And I didn't bring it with me, but I have baking soda too, which actually is a salt of the earth. It's sodium bicarbonate, and it's naturally found in caves. And that's probably the most powerful salt is baking soda. And that's the one that everybody uses. But yeah, literally. But the real salt, so if you can see it, I don't know if you can see, but it has a pinkish almost tint to it. And most people have seen pink Himalayan sea salt. It's not quite as pink as the pink Himalayan sea salt, but this one is still pink, and that's because the iron content, the minerals and the iron content. That's why it's pink. So this one is recommended by chefs as the best tasting one out of the gourmet sea salts. Me personally, I like it. It's really, really salty, so you don't need a lot. The Celtic sea salt is also really salty. It's because they're salts, it's hard to describe the flavor as far as, like, I can only describe them in the intensity of saltiness, right? But now if you're talking about, because when people are eating food, you know, if your taste buds doesn't recognize something, sometimes your brain will just reject it. It may actually be good, but if you're not used to that taste, you may you know what I mean? So for starters, the best one to start off with would be Pacific sea salt as well, because that's just your basic white sea salt. So this is gonna taste just like the what you already use, like
kosher salt or something.
So
like
all these
similar?
salts are kosher.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
So all these salts are kosher.
Do you think like they could help bring out the I know this is just a little off topic too, but I'm also interested. Like they could help bring out certain flavors of certain dishes since the intensity of salt.
Yes,
saltiness.
definitely.
Yeah, like a steak I would use one of those, and maybe like poultry or fish I would use a different one.
Right. Yeah, and you just gotta kind of gotta play it by ear. Like what I like to do is I take a little tip of it and sprinkle, and then just put it on the tip of my tongue, and that's how I know how to use it in my dish.
Good get. Yeah,
you know what
sure,
I mean?
Definitely. Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
And you can know how much to use, because you know too much salt could ruin a dish. You know, so that's also a disclaimer too. You know, salts of the earth are good for you, and I completely keep preaching that it's not that you need a low sodium diet. You need the right sodium. You know what I mean? Because when you have the right sodium, your cells are functioning properly. The right salts will make your mitochondria produce ATP. Table salt will kill them. Yeah, table salt will kill them, and it's because it doesn't have anything in it for your cells. So it's just like, yeah, it's just, I mean, it gives you the flavor, but it's missing the nutritional value. So it's almost like putting dishes in the sink and filling up with water and just adding more dishes to the sink. And you're just sitting there for days and days, and you never, you know what I mean? Like the clog is clogged. The drain is clogged, and the water, everything you eat is just clogging and clogging and clogging. You know what I mean? And that's why people start having problems with blood flow and arteries problems and heart problems, and even mental fogging.
Oh, definitely. There's like, I mean, they're even starting to connect like Alzheimer's. My granddad died of Alzheimer's, and now, you know, like it's come so far. That was so long ago, but now they're really starting to look at stuff like your diet.
For sure.
Like even for Alzheimer's, which you know, back in the day, they wouldn't have said that.
They say your gut is like a second brain, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Definitely. Yeah.
No, it definitely is. Because your mood is directly affected on what's in or what's not in your stomach.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
yeah. That's one of the first things I like got. One of the first reasons I started more looking into greens and like nutrition and stuff like that is actually because of like when I found out it was so your mood was so controlled by your gut. I was like, oh man, maybe I should start eating better. I probably wouldn't be in a bad mood.
Yeah, definitely.
It helps how your brain functions too.
Yeah,
like it sends signals to your brain and how.
Which
like,
I mean, seems obvious,
for sure,
right?
Yeah.
Like it seems obvious, but you don't realize how much it really matters. Like, you know, you got here and you eat Whataburger, and then people are all pissy for the next like 2 days after that, or even just the day after that. And it's like, what? You went and ate this crap food that had, you know what I mean?
That's literally it, and that's literally it. Because I mean, without being too mystical, every living thing or anything that comes out of nature has a spirit, or best way to describe it is an energy. Instead of say spirit, let's say energy or essence of something. So a collard green has its own essence and unique. Just like look at them like different people. Like each person has their own unique personality and everything. So, well, don't imagine eating people, but if you could,
that's exactly what my thought. That was my thought when he said that. I was like, you power
the lion and gain its power.
Right.
Yeah, you power up and level up by eating other people. I'm gaining your strength. Some people believe that.
Absorbing it.
I mean, that's been done.
That's like
that's
an
been
ancient
done
culture
for,
thing, right?
For
like
eons, man.
I mean, I think even
Yeah.
Take the beating heart of your enemy. And,
Yeah, that's the story of Vlad the Impaler, where Dracula came from.
I think so. Yeah, I think so.
He would drink the blood of his enemies. I think he was fighting the Ottoman Empire. He would lead them on stakes and drink their blood.
Yeah, and just scare the shit out of them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Imagine marching in somewhere and you just see stakes ridden up people's asses through their. You know,
Imagine stepping on the battlefield.
Maybe we should. Yeah, I don't know if we should mess with this guy.
Yeah, no, he's just like.
Yeah, West might be better than East.
Gain the power of his enemies.
Yeah.
Apparently, maybe. Who
Yeah.
knows? Who really knows?
So what else you got over here?
Yeah, but each finish off so each plant has its own essence, and essentially we're consuming that, kind of gaining.
Yeah, so each plant has its own essence. So basil, rosemary, collard greens, carrots, they have their own essence, and their essence, the best way to describe them in modern day terms is the composition of vitamin A, vitamin B, vitamin K, iron, B9, folate. So everyone has a different combination of different vitamins and minerals, and that's where the energy of the food is in the vitamins. And that's why so many people drink mineral water now.
Almost like you could say like it's character.
Right, yeah.
Right. Like it's character, you know, and yeah. Okay.
I think it's crazy we've steered so far from eating like the foods that give us this stuff naturally that people are just, I need to eat my vitamins.
Right, and it's free. That's the best part. I mean, it's not free. I still got the water and everything, but essentially these free. Like, I don't have to, you can, in a perfect world, right, or just whatever your living situation is, you can take a seed, put it in dirt, and grow your own food. You know, that's kind of amazing to me. That's what even got me started growing food, because I was like,
self-reliance.
Yeah, self-reliance, self-sufficiency, and it's just more efficient. You know what I mean?
I would say,
yeah,
real magic,
right?
yeah,
literally,
like magic in a different sense, but like really practical, like one, yeah, definitely.
I was gonna ask you earlier, do you think that brings you peace in a way?
Oh,
like
for sure, for sure. And I garden if I can. I garden with my shoes off, so I can connect to earth.
I hate wearing shoes in the first place.
Yeah,
so that makes sense.
Yeah, I only like wearing shoes when I'm out places. Like,
I was that kid. I ran around barefoot literally all the time.
Yeah, me too.
In the middle of the woods, like I mean, and I suffered for it.
Yeah, I still got scars.
Stitches. Yeah, I got stitches multiple times, but like it always just I don't know. I liked it.
I mean, that's your natural feeling, you know. And then even they're just now discovering. I mean, they discovered this about a decade ago, but like in Oregon. I think it was at Oregon University, this was back when I was in high school, so this had to be like 2012 or 2011. It was like a team of the cross country or track and field. They noticed that by them running with their shoes off barefoot, that their muscles got twice as stronger.
That makes sense.
And the recovery rate was twice as much.
Yeah, I definitely wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah.
I mean, there's even a company out there that makes shoes that are supposed to be like your barefoot now.
Right, and
because he's like really pushing for how much the modern shoe really just fucks up your feet, and then and it works its way up, right? Like so, it starts with your feet, and then it's your knees, and then it's your hips, and then it's your back, and then
I'm feeling that.
Yeah, no, same. Yeah, definitely. Not to get too off topic, but I think it's kind of weird that there's like a separation of like we've been kind of separated from the food we eat. Like there's a big gap in like a bunch of steps that now go between the making of the food and the eating of the food, right? Or the growing of the food and the eating of the food. And we're like separated from the sky by a bunch of different things, and we're separated from the ground by our shoes, and like just a like overall separation from natural order of things that I think could honestly really possibly be doing a lot to people's psychology, like on a
processed
on a mass
foods are way
scale.
worse for
Oh
yeah, but
definitely.
it's like processed foods and just not being able to see the stars all the time. I know other people talk about that, but I do think honestly that's important. And then also not being able to feel the ground, like you said, like it's just like that's three different areas that are probably the most important areas of just all of humanity in general.
Yeah.
And then now there's one, with sociability. Now we all have phones and all that stuff, so you don't have to hang out with people to talk to them.
Right.
You don't have to do that. So it's really like we're being separated from the most important
DoorDash.
things.
You don't have to
like,
go and do
individually.
anything for your food. You don't have
Yeah. Which I mean, I guess I can get
press
that.
a
People are
button.
drunk. I don't want them driving around to go get
Right,
fucking
it's
whatever.
convenient sometimes.
like,
Yeah.
But it's just weird that people act differently, and I think that's like a huge contributor. Sorry, I didn't want to get off that too much, but I just thought you said something really interesting about being separated from the food, and I was like, oh, that's another one, because I've always thought about the other two, like ground, and I was like, that's another one. True, food and sociability. I was like, wow.
Oh yeah. Right. Yeah. Somebody was breaking it. Might have took a fry out or two. I don't know.
I didn't want to get too off topic. I just thought that was an interesting point you made, and I was like, wow, yeah.
Oh no, but it's crazy. It's really not off topic. That's the thing. When you talk about nature, everything always kind of connects back together. You know, the whole circle of life thing. So you were talking
as above, so below, right?
Right, literally, as above, so below, as within, so without. So, the most prevalent element on Earth is salt water. So just like the most prevalent prevalent in your body. So now we're talking about being separated from the Earth. Separation from the Earth lowers your because the heart produces electromagnetic field, just like the Earth has electromagnetic field. So you know, some people get so weirded out about this or uncomfortable, but it's fact. Like your body runs on electricity. So there's a fact that the surface of the Earth has negative electrons, free roaming electrons all across the surface of the Earth. So if you were to step on the surface of the Earth barefoot, you would receive a charge, and all the positive ions that you have been generating will be released into the Earth. It'll decrease stress. It'll help your muscle recovery. It'll stop joint pain, stop inflammation, and it's just almost like it's essentially putting your phone on a wireless charger. How you just sit it on top of
like
it
walking
and it
on the
charges.
beach.
Right? Yeah, walking on the beach.
Immediate difference of feeling you get when you're actually barefoot walking on even a dry beach. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it builds up your immune system, and that's why I think we even had a pandemic and having these weird bugs around, because I think it's like a flu bug going around right now. I think it's because we're so separated from nature, and we don't go out. Like, it doesn't mean that you can't sit in your house and play video games and do what we all love to do. It's just like, I don't know, when like before modern times, before we had so much access to technology, there were days where, okay, we're going to the park or we're going down by the creek. You see it in these old movies. They go out and shoot rocks by the creek or something.
I grew up doing that.
You know what I
stuff,
mean?
You know?
But it's not as popular to do that now.
Almost unpopular.
Right,
I would even say, yeah.
Yeah, people don't even like going outside. You know, they just think.
People hate people, dude.
You're
next to somebody, they look at you weird. You just walk up, they're like, "What the fuck are you doing?" You're like, "Bro, I'm just enjoying nature." Like,
right.
Like back then, you could sit on a bench next to somebody. Someone would probably spark a conversation. Now you sit on a bench next to somebody. Someone's like, "What do you?"
Or you could sit under a tree and read a book with a blanket, and nobody would be thinking that you're weird. If you go out in the park right now and sit on the tree, they're gonna be like, "Oh, here goes this hippie dude," or whatever.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
It's like, no, that was a thing though.
Our parents used to have block parties. Have y'all's parents ever told y'all about that? Like.
Yeah,
like
the
they
whole
would literally
street.
close off the
Yeah.
street on both sides and just have like everybody would contribute and you just had you would never see that now.
I've had that. I've seen it when I was younger. I've seen it when I
Really?
was younger. Yeah, but not.
Yeah, when I was a kid too.
We definitely did stuff like with our, like our street,
Especially
our
like with
cul-de-sac
Halloween
friends, but
and stuff.
mostly it was the
and-
kids participating. The adults, like at least for us, never really participated.
Yeah, I
in
saw
it.
like adults
the
and
kids
stuff.
had to organize it.
It'd be like a
For us.
neighborhood thing sometimes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Depending, but we lived in like the neighborhoods that we lived in. I feel like it was its own little subdivisions, you know. So people, I feel like, would come
More
together.
private, a little bit more private neighborhoods or
Well,
something.
no.
Not like necessarily private,
Not
but like
private,
smaller.
but they were. Yeah.
Yeah, they weren't anything that you block off, but it was so small that it would just, you could go.
Just happen. Like the Halloween's the closest thing now,
Right.
and even Halloween's kind of weird now. Like.
Right, yeah, right.
Come hang out,
Yeah,
me and my friends.
Everybody's got one of them.
For real. Yeah, so what else do you got here? I know with these bags, and you got some smaller little jars here aside. And then the honey, of course, you did whatever you want to start with.
I'm going to touch on the honey last.
Yeah, that's the one I'm most excited about. Just say.
Okay.
I'm excited about this shit right here.
So we just talked about the salts of the earth. Now I'm finna make it make sense because a lot of people don't know what sea moss is. And it's gonna make sense. So just everything we learned about sea salt. So
yeah, let me be real with you. Whenever I first started seeing him do sea moss, I was like, "Who the fuck is buying this shit?" I was like, I have no idea what. I don't know what sea moss is. What are the benefit? I was so interested though.
I don't want your sea moss.
I was googling sea moss. I'm not even lying. Before I reached out to him, I was googling sea moss like
As
when he
opposed
first.
to regular moss.
That's for real. For real.
Could I eat it out of that bag? I just want to know. Could I pull it out of that bag and eat it?
You could. It would not be pleasant. No, it wouldn't be pleasant. It's very edible, but in that state, it's not very pleasant. So, like I was saying, okay, where was I? Okay.
Salts.
So the salts of the earth. These are the salts that's in the sea, depending on the region, right? So this is Utah. This is France. This is Hawaii, tropical places in the Pacific Ocean. Now, this sea moss, you can kind of see it. I'll actually take some out so you can see what it looks like. And it's all gonna come full circle. So this sea moss is a form of sea moss called Euchema cottoni. Now this is the real popular one you see, and can you smell that? It smells just like the ocean.
Oh!
What is this?
Yeah, you gotta get that over
It's
there.
definitely-
Holy shit!
There's no debate on where that came from,
No.
right?
I kind of like that.
Yeah, it smells good, right?
It reminds
It's
me
from
of
the
the
beach.
beach.
Like,
Yeah,
'cause the
yeah,
seaweed-
100%.
I'm a big ocean person.
Because the seaweed washes up ashore.
Oh,
yeah.
dude, I actually love that.
Yeah.
That's the ocean.
Is that gross?
Wait,
No,
pass
it's
that,
not
pass
at
that to
all.
Josh, just because.
Josh, you
So
got
you
Oh
gotta
yeah,
smell
just a
it.
quick note to everyone if you're wondering why Josh isn't on today, his wisdom teeth got taken out, so Cole is subbing in for him.
Yeah, I'm not Josh. If y'all didn't notice,
Yeah. People are probably wondering. Just thought we'd throw that in there.
they probably couldn't even tell.
They're like, who is this guy?
Do you think it smells bad?
Yeah,
I like. It's like a fresh, like.
but it smells.
Yeah,
no,
yeah.
When I said woo, I was like, that is the ocean. That
You
is
know how
the
some
ocean.
people think Galveston smells bad. I don't because it's like a childhood like.
Oh no, I mean it smells like seawater.
connection for me. So like it makes me think of our beach house that we used to have growing up. That are some of my happiest memories. So when I smell this, I'm like.
It smells like seawater.
Immediately
I don't
brings
know.
me back. Yeah,
It's
I
just
don't know.
because it's salt. Like that water's extra salty. That's why you
Yeah,
smell like
yeah,
really
yeah.
salt.
Yeah.
Like it's.
Okay, so continue. Sorry. Like at least we have a
It
beach.
smells
not
like-
landlocked.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
That's
Oh no, I love the beach. I'm
Anywhere
with you
there's
on that one.
water, that's how it smells. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, exactly.
they just haven't experienced.
Right,
it,
like
maybe.
people trash Galveston so hard.
It's the people who don't go though. You know, it's
Yeah.
the people
Oh,
who
yeah.
never go to Galveston
Yeah.
who are always like, dude, it sucks. I'm like, you've been one
Oh,
time.
the culture's great for the most part. you know
It's
what I mean?
very diverse. It's very
Extremely,
oh,
yeah.
I
Oh,
love it.
Galveston
Yeah,
for sure.
very
It's
diverse.
weird because it's a laid back beach city, but also it's Galveston. You
Right,
know,
yeah.
you
It's
know
like
what
an
I mean?
extension of Houston as a hippie
Yeah.
colony.
Yeah, I know, right?
You know what I mean?
Right,
Weird.
yeah,
It's
literally.
definitely- it's-
Yeah, literally,
The
man.
county's its own thing.
It used to be back in the old days. It used to be the Las Vegas of the South.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
dude. The Strand and the freaking
because all the people from
the
the
Galvez
shipyard.
Hotel. The
Mhm.
Galvez Hotel used to be one of the nicest hotels.
Who
in the
was it
whole
who
country.
came here and stayed at the Galvez? Was it FDR?
There was a couple. I think there was a couple presidents have stayed there.
Yeah, I
for
think
sure.
so,
I
yeah.
think like maybe 3.
What's the
Yeah.
statue? Do you know the history of the one statue? It's like the lady, like it was like she's pointing a certain direction. I think it's like once you pull in, it's like that, like she's pointing towards.
That sounds very familiar.
There's like a. No, it's just that it's like a. It was for sailors. Like whenever they pull in, it's like pointing you direction to where like you stay or you could stay like inns and shit like that.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
it.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
I would have to Google that.
Can't believe I never knew that.
Yeah.
It's like on Broadway. I
Dang.
think it's
and that's
yeah.
weird because I'm a Galveston history nerd.
Yeah, I don't know how you didn't know that.
Yeah, I don't know.
I know exactly what you're talking about. I just can't visualize it right now.
Yeah. On yeah. It's near the church. Yeah,
The
on
big
Broadway.
Catholic church, the white one, the Gothic, like the big Gothic church by the Bishop's Palace. Is it that one? Oh, okay, that's cool. Okay, sorry.
I'm just trying to think. I don't know what I think I have like
I'm
I think I
baffled
have
right
so
now.
much on my mind and I'm like holding
Well, there's
it. and I'm
there's a big, beautiful white Gothic church in Galveston off of
right closer to East Beach, right?
yeah,
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
it's on, like
Stewart.
61st.
Like
or
down
maybe-
towards Stewart. Right
Wait,
now?
wait,
Is it
which
the
one are you
opposite
talking
direction?
about?
I'm thinking of one by the Bishop's Palace. Yeah, the 61st is
Yeah, I'm thinking
coming
East
from
Beach.
yeah.
Yeah. Uh-huh. Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's beautiful. Sorry.
Y'all see it now. You know though. Next
Yeah.
time y'all in Galveston, you're on
Check it
Broadway.
out.
You'll see the statue for sure.
Okay. So where were we? I mean, Galveston has a rich history as well. Even when we're talking about seaweed, it has a lot of seaweed just because of the oil and fishing industry. It's too many chemicals out in that. They do the drilling. They have what are those called? The oil rigs out there in the Gulf.
Yeah,
So
there's a lot of waste
You
dumped
wouldn't
out.
really want to eat the seaweed that comes from there, but it's plentiful amounts of seaweed, as you can see.
Is sea moss
Oh,
basically
yeah, it ends up-
seaweed?
Yeah, so it's a seaweed. It's an algae, to be exact. It's an algae. So everybody calls it sea moss. I'm not sure where that name came from. I guess from the way it grows.
From Randy.
Oh.
It's named after Randy.
Oh, I didn't get, it took me a while to get that one.
Oh, I'm
It took
sorry.
me a while to get that one. No, so
Yeah.
so they call it sea moss. It's his nickname, but it's really a red algae, and there's over 1,000 different types of species. Now, out of those 1,000, I mean, some grow in China, some grow in Vietnam, Taiwan, Canada, Peru, Argentina, even some places in Africa. So it just depends on where you want to source it from. But I source mine personally from St. Lucia and Maine.
Where's that at?
In Maine.
Maine.
Say St. Lucia is a part of the islands. So, yeah, the Caribbean islands. So
There's a specific reason as to why?
yeah, the waters are cleaner out in St. Lucia as far as harvesting this particular species. Now, this species, I call it the ramen noodle species. That's exactly what it resembles, right? It looks just like ramen noodles, right?
Maybe like veggie noodle.
Yeah.
Sea noodles.
sea
You got
noodles,
the gluten-free version.
And they grow in these big clusters. They're kind of cut up now, but they grow in these big clusters. And I don't know if you can see this. I kind of just dropped some on the table, but I'm going to do this. See how I can bring it full circle back to salts of the earth.
Oh, wow, yeah.
And if-
Wow, that's crazy.
and
You
if
can
you
literally
look at
shake
that-
it off of it.
That's some mineral rich
That's
salt.
so cool.
That is. Holy fuck, you could see it. Yeah. It's just like pink and white for those of you. You're not going to be able to see
Right.
it.
Yeah.
You can literally see the
If you
salt
ever
and sand and
seen
shook it off.
if you ever
That's
seen
so
pink
cool.
Himalayan sea salt, that's exactly what it looks like. Or even this
Yeah.
real salt, it kind of looks identical to the real salt. You know what I mean?
Now I know what you mean by real salt.
Oh right,
Yeah.
yeah,
That's crazy.
Because real salt, they be like, "What you mean real salt?" Yeah, I got the salt. It's in the
all
it's
the
in the
salt, right?
cabinet. Right?
Yeah.
No, but real, that's what it's called. It's actually called Redmond's real salt because you can only find it in Redmond's, Utah. So
But where's this sea moss from?
this sea
You
moss,
said, you said it's from
this sea moss is from St. Lucia.
right.
This
yeah,
this is
okay,
Euchema
in the
catoni.
Caribbean.
Yes. Now there's another species that is viral and it looks just like this, but it's very thin, and they call it Honduran sea moss. It's actually called Gracilaria. I don't have any Gracilaria at the moment, just because I can't find a supplier that I trust at the moment. But I have a supplier that I trust with this one, and this one is completely wild harvested. Sometimes with sea moss you'll see wild crafted. Wild crafted means that it was farmed. So it was farmed, which is not a bad thing, but I mean, if you want to get the maximum potency, you want it to be straight from the wild. A lot of people wildcraft because they are trying to sustainably source it, so they kind of can control who's fishing and who's going in the waters and stuff. You know what I mean?
Is there an issue with saying who your supplier is for that? Just because, like, people would probably look it up anyway. You know?
I wouldn't.
It's a company. Yeah, it's a company, St. Lucia. Yeah, I mean, it's St. Lucian Sea Moss. That's literally the name of the company.
That's the name of the
St.
company?
Lucian
Cool.
Sea Moss Company. Yeah, so it doesn't get any easier than that, right? But yeah, this is my supplier. This is for my Euchema catoni. Now, I have another supplier in Maine for another species. So,
This other stuff is here?
Yeah.
Is this an American species?
the
The main one?
main one, it is technically it's an American species, but it grows all throughout the North Atlantic. It grows
okay,
along
yeah,
rocky
yeah.
coast in the North Atlantic. Now, this one, I'm trying to see if I can find another color, because this is the full spectrum. Oh, this is the full spectrum. So the reason I wanted to bring this one is because you can see the full spectrum of the colors. So with this one, the purple is the most mature, right? So this is very mature sea moss, and it's the most potent because it has a lot of antioxidants, and it has I am so bad at pronouncing words, but it has a chemical in it that you see in other blue and red vegetables, like beets and blueberries and purple onions.
It's a
Other
mineral?
types of spinach and lettuce, like purple and red.
Right, that boosts it with more antioxidants. It's on my website, but
Is it
yeah, it starts with
anthocyanins?
an A. Yes,
Anthocyanins or
Uh-huh.
anthocyanins? Yeah.
Mhm. That's
Antioxidants found in red, purple, and blue veggies and fruits.
right. Yes.
Natural, commonly used as natural dyes, but may also provide help.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So that's the purple sea moss. So this is what sea moss looks like mature, and this is juvenile sea moss, which is green. So it's not quite. It's ready to eat, but it hasn't reached its full maturity as a plant. So you can tell at how deep it grows by the color. So this one grows the deepest.
In the ocean?
In the ocean. This one is at the deepest depths, and the green is at medium depth. It's kind of deep, but not as deep as the purple. And then sometimes, so this is the blonde. These are all the same plant, but these are different maturity levels. And then also the blonde. This is one you're gonna see the most common. So the blonde doesn't have much of a taste. It's very mild and it doesn't have much of a taste. Now, sometimes it'll already start turning blonde in the ocean if it's closer to the surface. So sometimes it'll start turning blonde, but even if not, a lot of people will take the sea moss, and most of the time when you get the sea moss, it'll be full spectrum like this. It'll be mixed up with purple and green because it's not going to be one single purple plant because you're talking about the depths is what it's grown.
It's all one plant that goes deeper.
Right. Uh-huh.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. And so they sun dry it. But this one is the full spectrum, so all of this was just one plant pulled up and just laid out on a table to sun dry.
Oh, and they just cut it out.
Mhm.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Mhm. So yeah, I don't know, man.
No, you can only see it. Like if you ever watch those documentaries, like under the ocean, like sea documentaries, you can only see it's like a tall stack that like grows, and literally it's like a rainbow of the seaweed.
Mhm.
As you get higher to the top, it gets lighter.
Mhm.
That's insane. Yeah.
Yeah, because the deeper it is, the less sunlight can reach it, so it maintains its color.
There's a lot of fish that live in those too, right?
Yeah, like sometimes
because there'll be like big big areas of it. and-
A lot of fish eat it. Sometimes you'll see like you can see like something's been nibbled off, or you'll see seashells or different things in here. Which is a disclaimer. If you're not okay with that, you probably don't want the raw sea moss. You probably want the sea moss gel, which I can clean up for you and everything. And I don't know if would y'all happen to have a bowl, because I want to demonstrate something.
A bowl?
Yeah, a bowl.
Yeah, I'll grab that for
Okay.
you. Yeah, y'all can continue
Okay.
on. I'll grab that bowl.
Excuse me. So, this one is Yukima Katoni. The main difference between this one and what I'm going to show you next is the Conjures Crispus. Oh,
Make sure it's picking you up.
okay. Hello.
No, you're good. You're good. You gotta say. Hello.
No, so, Yukima Katoni is the most prevalent one, because you're gonna find that in all the tropical places. So, I meant to ask you to give me some water too. If you give me some. Yes. We'll put this.
Add water to that.
Yeah, that's perfect.
Is it gonna explode?
No, it's gonna.
grow. It's like.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
just starts growing immediately.
And I didn't nearly fill it up as much as you could, but you're gonna see it. It's amazing
like a
how
little
fast
kid.
it grows. Yeah.
Little kid
So
watching.
I
Oh,
don't
is
know if they
it
can
literally
see
about
that.
to? Is it like actually about to?
So
grow?
yeah, so look, you can. I don't know if they can see that, but expand. It's about to actually grow and expand. So the only reason I'm demonstrating this is to make it understood why sea moss and salts of the earth are one of the same things. Because one thing that people know about sea moss is the whole 92 minerals and vitamins. That's the one thing that everybody knows. 92 minerals and vitamins. And the reason it has 92 minerals and vitamins is because it absorbs the seawater inside of it. So what this is basically a multivitamin. It's a food source. And I'm gonna tell you about this one. So, and this also this is often confused with Irish moss. So Irish moss and sea moss are two different things. So Irish moss is a sea moss, but not all sea moss is Irish moss. Irish moss is Conjures crispus, what I'm going to show you next. While that's soaking, I'll go on the Conjures crispus.
This is that?
Yeah, this Conjures crispus. Oh, and by the way,
Conjures
I brought y'all
crispus.
some free samples, so
Oh hell yeah!
I want
I
y'all to
love
pick
that.
a flavor. So before, okay, all right. I know, right? I get real excited when it comes to this. So basically, this is the raw version. What I just shown you guys was the raw version. Now you soak it in water, usually from 12 to 24 hours at most, and it will expand. And then you can some people just like to blend it as it is raw, or some people like to cook it on the stove and then you can blend it. And the fact that it looks like ramen noodles is kind of crazy because it almost cooks like ramen noodles to where, like, you know how if
like
you
could make it like that?
yeah, you actually could eat them and cook them
in a
like ramen
broth?
noodles. Yeah.
Like you would actually do it like that?
They do it in a lot of Oriental dishes.
Yeah, I mean, if you
They
think
use
about
a
it,
lot of seaweed.
Well, yeah, the seaweed I've
Seaweed,
had,
yeah.
but like as your main noodle, you could use it like
You could, but
is
you have
that
to be
like a
very
thing that
careful
people
with
do?
the temperature because if you overheat it, it'll turn. It's almost like those ramen noodles, like the Maruchan ramen noodles. You know, if you heat them up too long, they just turn to mush.
Mush.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
okay.
that's what it is. You just gotta. It's more about temperature control. But yeah,
it is
for sure.
expanding. It's kind
Yeah,
of
that is.
how
Yeah.
it is.
Oh yeah, give it about like 10 minutes. It'll really expand much. So it has a chemical in it called carrageenan. So carrageenan is used in cosmetics, skin products, and is actually you can't make a clear beer without carrageenan. So
A clear what?
a clear beer.
A beer?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
They use carrageenan in the brewing process.
Like in a Michelob or something like that. Like in a clear, like a.
Well, no, it doesn't matter the color, just
just
so
any-
it's no foam. Like the beer's
Oh
not foam.
yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
They use the carrageenan in that. They also use it as cow feed. But carrageenan itself as an extract, which comes from seaweed, specifically sea moss, is not as good as having the carrageenan connected to the plant, right? So the carrageenan is what makes it this gel-like substance when it's heated up. So that's where the gel comes from. So everybody knows the sea moss gel. So these are the sea moss gels. And I brought the fruit flavor ones because the fruit flavor ones, this is going to get the best reaction. But if you were to just make the regular gel out of the purple, yellow, green, or mix them all together, you can use it on your skin. You can use it on your hair, make your hair soft. It'll get rid of dandruff. You can use it on burns and cuts and wounds because the thing about it is it's pure biotin, it's pure collagen, and it's pure keratin. And I know a lot of people, especially a lot of women, you look in their pantry or their medicine cabinet, and it's biotin, B12, keratin.
Cut all that.
That stuff's
out.
good
yeah,
for your
you
hair.
can just eat.
Yeah.
You can just eat sea moss, and you don't have to take 5 different pills and stuff. You know what I mean? And it'll be faster results because it's bioavailable. Like your body is not. It's not taking a chemical that was extracted from something natural in a lab, and your body has to recognize and identify this. Your body will automatically identify this because it's in the same composition of what your body is.
There's a lot of doctors that'll tell people to drink less protein shakes because their body actually doesn't know how to doesn't know what to do with it because it's not the same as getting like natural food source.
Right. Yeah, that whole protein.
Not that that's for everybody, but I mean, there's some like depending on your situation, that might be a thing.
That's why I stick to like all greens and beans style protein because at least you know
yeah.
it's like protein coming
Just
from
powder.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because this is a protein. I guess we consider the gel form is a protein shake, but this is full of protein, and actually
kind of a funny way to put it. That is technically a protein shake if you think about it.
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah.
It really is. It's a protein shake for sure, man. And it has protein, it has B complex vitamins, has a lot of iron, a lot of potassium, a lot of zinc, which a lot of foods do. It's a lot of foods that don't have zinc. But most of the time when you get zinc from foods, it's either dark leafy greens or some type of seafood. I mean, there's other foods here and there, but you're talking about the most common things you can find zinc in. It's going to be seafood and dark leafy greens. And zinc is really important because zinc is the building block of everything. Like even semen is mostly composed of zinc. So zinc is the building block of everything.
So if I stop eating zinc, I don't have to use condoms, right?
I mean, if you want to take the chance, man, but I can't. Don't
Just kidding.
Don't invite me to the baby shower.
What he's saying is it's,
Like,
it's
don't-
good for the
Don't
skin.
invite me to the baby
Yeah.
shower. Is that what you said?
Be
On
mad
that
at
note-
me. So you can tell it was my fault.
Side note, I've been wanting to say congratulations also on your
Oh, my son.
child.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah,
your
thank
son,
you,
your
man.
son
Thank
on the
you,
way.
thank you.
Son
Yeah,
on the,
yeah.
on the way. On the way.
Yeah.
Son on the way.
okay.
he
You have one on
should
the way.
be
That's
here-
cool.
He should be here in 2 months, give or take. You know, they never come on a due date.
Dawn of a new era, am I right?
Yeah, right. Literally, it's the dawn of a new era, man. I'm really excited for that. I'm really excited for that.
Happy
So,
for you, man.
does
Congratulations.
your I mean, I don't know what the situation is. Your wife, your
Oh
girlfriend.
yeah, my girlfriend.
Does she eat a lot of this stuff?
Yeah, if you ask her, according to her, this is why she got pregnant.
Good or bad thing?
like
Good thing.
basically because
Good
it makes
things.
you very fertile. You know what I mean? It makes
okay.
it makes you fertile. But I mean, the thing about fertility is anything that restores your body and puts vitamins and minerals in it is going to make your body function at a proper way.
Yeah.
So
Or it
almost
should.
everything will make you fertile in the right amounts. But some things just kind of boom, you know. And sea moss is one of those things you have to consistently take it and everything. But it's also a mild aphrodisiac as well. But I just don't like to market it like that. But I mean, it is a very mild aphrodisiac. Yeah, and it will definitely make the female or the man more potent. But it also help you think better because it has the iodine in it. You know,
Make you think better? Or?
no, you'll think clearer and better. Like
Yeah, that's fucking more potent.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask before we dive in here, what's the 13? I've been wondering on the Dawn of a New Era, and it just has 13. What's the 13 specifically? Is that like the start of your journey, or?
Well, yeah.
Just-
So the number 13 is really powerful, and you can go look it up in numerology or anything. You know, if you really think about it, even in the school system, 13 represents completion and elevating to another level. So if you think about it, K through 12, right, is really the 12th grade is really the 13th grade. If you really think about it, I mean, technically, kindergarten is not a grade, but it's 13. You know what I mean?
Stages,
It's 13
yeah.
stages before you can graduate and go to the university, right? You go to a university, right, or go to the collegiate level. You know, so that's what it is. I feel like it's the dawn of a new era. The 13 is it's a gate. This is the last step before you can go and do other things because what really inspired me is I grew up in the Catholic Church.
Same.
They always talk about the disciples, Jesus and the 12 disciples, or Yahshua.
You're supposed to
Which
be
makes
13.
13.
Which
right?
makes
I
13.
mean, that makes, yeah.
You know what I mean? And almost everything. If you do military time on a clock, once the first cycle of 12 is completed, the next cycle starts with 1,300 hours. So 1 o'clock is 1,300 hours in real time or military time. Because military time is real time because there's 24 hours in a day. So if you count 12 hours 2 times, technically that's not, you know what I mean? You're right, you never complete it. So you keep going around a loop. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Instead of
Yeah, I always start at 13 because I always get to completion.
and then if you think of even if you think about it, and 13 is when most people start puberty. You're a teenager. You're not a kid anymore. You're a teenager, technically.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, 13 is a big thing for a lot of different stuff.
In the
you know,
Jewish culture,
uh,
you become
Jewish
a man
culture,
at age
yes,
13.
At 13, I mean, 13 is bad luck in some cultures. 13 is actually a good omen in some cultures, Like, I mean, but there's a lot of different cultures that have a bunch of different bases around 13.
And then I'm
probably
also
on for days about that.
And then I also graduated in 2013. So
Nice.
that was a big one too.
It was like to get to the bottom of it.
Right, yeah, but no, I believe in the power of the 13 for real. And if you ever see my post or anything, I always say 13 love or 13 gratefulness or 13 abundance.
That's a good attitude to have about it because, like, typically in America, it's an unlucky number.
Right, and
You know what I mean? Like, hotels don't have 13th floors. And,
Right.
You
Yeah.
name it.
But it's actually to me, it's the luckiest number because it represents completion, and we don't even know that we're observing 13 in every area of life. Just like I was saying, like about the school system, you have to get to the 13th level in order to get somewhere else to graduate. And everybody mostly believes in, especially America, predominantly Christian. There's 12 disciples plus 1 Christ. I mean,
or Mary, I guess, depending on how you look at it, right? I guess if Christ is separate than that, would it be Mary as the 13th?
I'm not quite sure. I'm looking.
I wasn't raised Catholic, so.
I'm looking at it more of the perspective of like
as a whole.
as if they're a group, right? So it's Jesus and the 12 disciples, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
that's
women
13.
didn't have rights then, so it was a group of dudes.
Yeah,
Right.
It's a group of
I mean,
homies.
It's a group of homies. She was on the outside. She's like, "Can I join?" Like, dude.
And they're like, hey, they're like, come on, dude. It's boys' night.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
it's
boys'
us.
night.
No, but no, for
It's
real.
enough that we invited you to Last Supper.
Yeah, I know. Right? Well, I mean,
like she's outside the picture. Hey,
Yeah.
there were a lot of women involved, like Mary Magdalene and different women, but you know how it is back in those days. They don't really talk about women and what they do, you know. But I mean, back to the thing with the 13. The 13 is really just. It's just 13 is everything. The 13 is you, and I don't know how long it'll take people to get that, but you'll realize it. The 13 is you. You got 13 major joints in your body. You know what I mean?
No, that's definitely. Now that you say that, people that listen to this are probably going to be like seeing it everywhere.
Right now, you're gonna start seeing 13
everywhere.
I know, yeah. Your total's gonna be 13 at the coffee shop and everything.
Yeah.
But,
So what else is
Yeah,
going
no.
on?
So we
over
got
here?
the CMOS
Okay, so-
gel, the CMOS smoothies, or
Yeah.
no? What do we say? The
so this
CMOS,
is the CMOS gel. This is the fruit infused CMOS gel. So the pink one we got dragon fruit.
do you infuse it with like actual? Like, how do you infuse those?
So depending on the fruit, I will either use freeze dried powder. And it's organic freeze dried fruit powder. Or I will use the fresh fruit if I have it available.
And how do you
like
how
to
do
squeeze.
No, I will actually put the whole fruit in.
Oh,
there. Like
dang.
so, if
Okay,
it's
cool,
bananas,
cool.
I will put the whole banana in there. But
yeah.
I'm starting to realize that it's actually more easier to use the freeze dried fruit powder, and it's more efficient because technically it's still the same organic plant. It's just crushed into a powder, and then that helps especially like with shipping and different things because
It lasts longer.
it lasts a lot longer
Yeah.
with the powder than it would.
So the gel, is that just like directly from the moss? How does the
Yeah.
how does it get from the moss to the gel state?
So, like how we're doing right now, we will soak this for 24 hours. We soak this for 24 hours, then we put it in the stove. We heat it up. That's what we do specifically. So we heat it up. Well, really just let it simmer. We don't want it to boil because we want to keep some of its vitality in it. So after that, we let it cool down. I like to let some people blend theirs raw. Like some people don't even heat it up. I like to heat it up because I feel like it sterilizes a little bit more. And you know, because you never know. This came out of the ocean, right? So you never know what may be entangled in these, right? So I like to sterilize it a little bit more. I soak it with lime as well. So normally I would soak this in a big tub with lime, sometimes lemon. Then I will take that water out and then put new water in it, then simmer it. And then after the simmering process, I let it cool down to see if it's coagulating. It'll start making a jelly-like substance. And then that's when I take piece by piece as much as I can fit into my blender and I blend it. And with the fruit infused, I would just mix the powders with it or the fruit, depending on, you know, if it's a local order, I would more than likely use fruit. If I'm delivering, I like to use the fruit powders, and I think that actually I'm transitioning now to only using the fruit powders because it's still the same fruit, like I said, and it's just more efficient, and you get to have your product a lot longer. Because if I use real fruit, this is like, I don't know if you ever made a smoothie and kept it in the fridge for 2 or 3 days. It's
you
gonna
get
start.
max.
Yeah, you know what I mean.
Max.
So this works a lot better.
So
So
what other flavors you got?
so
here?
this is dragon fruit, mango, and this is. I know it doesn't look like it, but it's strawberry banana. You got to realize when a banana is open, see,
Oh, yeah.
it turns brown. So yeah, but it tastes good. So I don't know which one y'all want to try. Or I mean, I got.
I'd like to try all
try
of
any
them.
of them. Yeah, let me try all.
Yeah.
Hey, hold up the bowl too. Let them see, cause it has. it
Yeah,
has,
the bowl has grown. Yeah.
Oh yeah. I probably should have filled the whole thing up with water.
Which ones am I holding? What am I holding?
That's the dragon fruit. I'm always about to call it
Dragon fruit. And then
The yellow one's mango,
mango.
and then
I think he's got us to.
oh yeah,
Wait, we can open these. I know they're not open. I just.
yeah. Oh, here you go.
I'm
What
actually
did you
excited.
get? I don't really like mangoes, but I'm gonna try this.
I got all of
'Cause
them.
I have a feeling it might taste amazing.
We both got all of them. You
I
don't
like mango and hot sauce.
You don't like mangoes? Dude,
Not
there's
really.
something
I
wrong
do,
with
just
you.
not like the main flavor of being just mango. Like
Do
I
you like
mango
fresh
and
mangoes?
hot sauce.
Do you
and
like fresh mangoes?
I don't typically
the
eat them,
fruit?
no. I hate those.
Like the
I feel like you
tahini.
would love fresh mango. I don't know.
The mango's so good. It's one of my favorite fruits.
Me too, man. Mango's so good for anything, honestly,
Mhm.
at any point in time. Let's see. I'm going for the mango sea moss here.
Oh, this is pretty good. It's like earthy.
Yeah, you weren't expecting that flavor right from this, right?
No, yeah, no, definitely.
From that smell that you smelled earlier, you wouldn't. Yeah.
There's some sea moss in
And
there.
this all has the sea moss in it,
Mhm.
plus the.
This is mostly sea moss, and then it's just infused with fruit.
Yeah.
With the fruit.
So you can use this for your skin, for your hair.
If I could put I could put this in my hair.
You could. I don't recommend it, but I mean each fruit has their own benefits and stuff too. So I mean, it wouldn't matter. You can put this in your hair, so you can put it on your skin. I mean, mango and dragon fruit have a lot of benefits.
Would you just use this for like edible purposes or like?
I would
what
use this mostly for edible purposes, but if you want to put it on your hair and your skin, you could. It's not gonna hurt it, but just make sure you wash it out good because it has fruit in it.
Oh, without the fruit, though,
Blend
like
it
if
up,
you-
But if
blend
you
it up
just
in a
had the one
smoothie.
without the fruit, oh yeah, for sure. That you can use that as a lotion and rub it all over your body. In fact, it's in a lot of your lotions already, but it's called carrageenan. If you go look on the lotion things, it'll say it. Mostly in your natural lotions and stuff.
I actually like the mango one the most so far.
Really?
I like
Yeah.
strawberry, banana. Josh, you want to try these?
Yeah, I got you.
I could just put, yeah. I'll just,
Are you allowed to try these? Can you try these?
You can try. It's
A gel, but like immediately dissolves.
Oh, it's not gonna hurt your teeth at all. No. Oh.
No, you're like, trust me.
No,
No.
It's
It's like
completely liquid. Well, thick liquid.
got all three in there.
Oh, this one could be in a pie. I'll put this in a pie.
That's what I'm saying. The strawberry banana
strawberry
is the
banana.
best
Oh, yeah.
one. That's the best one.
Yeah, I could put
That's
that
my
in a
top
pie.
seller for sure.
Or in
Yeah,
a,
top seller.
just in like a morning smoothie,
Mhm.
you know? Like all
Definitely-
the other stuff like spinach, bunch of that. Throw
Mhm.
some of this in there.
Definitely good. I will say there is a strong sea moss flavor in there. You can eat it by
That's
itself.
that earthiness.
Yeah, there's earthiness. You can eat it by itself, but I think that it would be a little bit better.
Yeah, cooked with something for
Yeah,
sure.
mixed in with.
You
You could on crackers.
You could.
Honestly.
You could use it as
yeah,
a,
you
you
could
could use this
totally
as
put it- Yeah, I
jelly.
can
if you
imagine
wanted
doing
to.
that. Like on saltines or something.
That's all it is.
I can see that.
It's jelly. Sea moss jelly jam.
Just do
Basically.
seaweed chips because they make those, and then put it on that.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah.
They do.
Yeah. Oh, so one. So
Yeah, we gotta get to.
we
the
talked
other-
about
Definitely
Yukima
good.
Katoni. I wanted to get this before we run out of time. So this is the Yukima Katoni, the sea moss noodle. That's the one you're gonna commonly see. If you search sea moss online, you're gonna see this one. And it's more than likely you're gonna see the blonde one or the purple one. More likely the blonde one. That's the one you see the most. You don't really see the green one. It's really rare. And it's not that it's rare, it's that people don't. You have to dry the purple and the green out in the shade so it doesn't lose its color, or it'll sun bleach like this.
Yeah,
Yeah,
right.
so
which is why it happens in the first.
Right,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? So that's the Yukima Katoni. That grows year round because it grows in tropical places, so it can be harvested year round. But this one is rarer, and this is the most potent form of sea moss, and it is called Chondrus crispus. Now we've dubbed
That's
it.
a sick ass name.
Yeah,
Conjure.
that's
Badass
his
name.
scientific botanical name. Is Chondrus crispus. So I don't know. It's kind of hard to show this one, but these are very short, dense seaweed flakes. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna put one in here to see because that one will.
Can I see a little bit of it?
Yeah, yeah. Go ahead.
Oh no, that.
That one. Now that's the one that.
Wait, I got it.
I'm not even gonna lie. It kind of smells like mushrooms.
Really?
Like. Yeah.
Oh.
like psilocybin.
Oh,
mushrooms.
wow.
Like,
Wow.
it smells. It has that. Tell me I'm wrong. Yeah, a little bit.
I mean, you're more the expert on that, but
Whoa. Yeah.
one guy smelled to it.
Yeah.
I get that.
Just keep smelling it. Yeah, I guess you think that one smells great.
No, I was like, that one's interesting. Definitely two different smells, though. Definitely the one's more sea, oceany. That one's got like a lot of other complex smells going.
It smells more like.
Here, I'm gonna let Josh smell it too.
Oh yeah, it smells more like. This one smells like the actual beach, whereas that one smells like.
Probably
That's sweeter too.
Yeah, it's
literally from like the deep water.
Yeah, right.
That's what it smells like. Which I would imagine because it's darker, it is from the deep water, right?
So this is the thing about that one. So this one grows. They both grow on. Right. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
The first one was like kind of funky. The second one's not bad. The third one's like I don't know what's going on.
I can see the cleaner, fresh, clean smell to it for sure.
So the Conjures Crispus it grows on rocks. Now they both grow on rocks, but this one exclusively grows on rocks in the North Atlantic. So off the coast of Maine, Canada, Greenland, Ireland. So this is the one that's called Irish moss. So if anybody tells you that they have Irish moss and it is not this, they are misinformed or misleading you, because this is Irish moss. This is Irish moss. This is sea moss. This is Irish moss, and Irish moss is very short and dense. Now it'll spread out more once you put it in the water, but the stringy ramen noodle looking like sea moss is sea moss. It's either grassa. If you're on the market for it online, Amazon, whatever you can find, usually on Google, it's either Euchema cottoni, which what we have here, that's the species name, or it's either gracilaria. Gracilaria has the really thin ones. A lot of people who Keep Up with Dr. Saban and everything, he was talking about gracilaria and Conjures Crispus a lot. Now, Conjures Crispus is the most powerful one. It's the most potent. It has a lot more mineral content in it because it grows directly off rocks. So it's literally all its nutrients are coming from rocks. You know what I mean? So every mineral that's in that rock is in this sea moss. So it's really strong. Both of them are very potent, but this one is the most potent. And they help rebuild cartilage and tissue. They help make for stronger and denser bones. It'll get rid of all the mucus and film out of your chest. It'll help with sinus problems. It'll actually heal ulcers too, because the gel-like substance goes in. It soothes your organs and it lines up in your organs, and it'll heal the ulcer, because the ulcer is just skin on the internal side of you. So with that being collagen, it repairs the collagen in the tissues, all your cells and organs. So it's really fascinating. Now, the funny thing about it is the story I was trying to tell is that it's called Irish moss, right? So the reason it's called Irish moss because I don't know if you know about the potato famine of Ireland. I believe it was in the late 1700s, wasn't it?
It lasted for a long time. That was the whole reason a lot of Irish people started moving to America.
Right.
So it lasted for it was going on for a good while.
Right. Yeah. So during the potato famine, some people out of desperation would eat the seaweed that washed up ashore, and the seaweed that happened to wash up ashore that grew on the coast of Ireland, the rocky coast of Ireland, was in fact Conjures Crispus. And that's how it got its term Irish moss, because this actually helped some people survive the famine, because it actually has, like I said, 92 of the 102 naturally occurring minerals. So you can actually use this as a meal replacement. Like if you made sea moss gel and mixed it with water, your juice or whatever, like how some people have meal replacement smoothies or
for a good cut or something like that.
Right, yeah, this will do it, and it'll actually feed you though, because it actually has vitamins and minerals, and it's bioavailable.
Yeah. So does it have calories? Does it have
Not very many.
Okay.
No,
okay.
not very many. No, it doesn't really have much fat or calories. That's the best thing about it.
Yeah,
but
not a lot of mass to it.
But you would feel very full after you ate it.
Dang. Okay.
Yeah.
So that really would be good for a smoothie.
And it has a lot of protein, but a lot of protein minus the. It doesn't really have that many carbs or fat. You know what I mean? But it has protein, so it's lean. You know what I mean? Yeah. So, I mean, you can pretty much use this for any. This one, of course, because you see this one is even darker purple than the Euchema cottoni, so it has the anthocyanins, I can't.
That word.
Anthocyanins.
Yeah, anthocyanins.
Yeah.
Usually I get all technical and everything, but I didn't want to come at it like that today. I'm kind of I'm not feeling real scientific, geeky nerd today. I'm just kind of keeping it
probably
simple.
wouldn't understand it anyway.
Yeah, I'm just trying to keep it simple, And then, yeah, I got these soaking. I guess I can show this when I'm done explaining the honey, but because it's not gonna get
at this
to
point, it's basically filling up the bowl.
Right? Yeah, that's true.
I mean, yeah. Josh had showed it while we were talking about it. He showed it to the camera to show him.
And lastly, I wanted to show the honey. So this is raw honey. This is raw clover honey. So I don't know if you ever seen a clover blossom, like this purplish. It's like this purplish flower. They call it red clover. I mean, it's white clover, it's red clover, but it's like this purplish flower. It's really good. You see it in a lot of teas. If you get like sleepy time teas or organic teas, you'll see clover in a lot of teas. But it's just the flower that this one happened to be produced off of, because bees can actually produce flower. They can produce honey from any flower that's available to them, and sometimes it's a mixture. So that's why like you'll get honey and it'll say wildflower honey. Wildflower just means it's a combination of all the flowers in that area. But this one specifically was with clover honey. Now this particular batch, my supplier gets them from all over. But this particular batch came from the Rocky Mountains. This is raw clover honey from the Rocky Mountains. And it's pretty good. And you're more than welcome to try some. But the crazy thing about it is, I don't know if y'all want to try some.
Oh, okay. Yeah, please. I love honey.
Much for this. Thank you.
I've been waiting for this the whole time.
No, I appreciate you for letting us try this stuff. Honestly.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my God.
Oh, yeah, it gets sticky. Yeah, so this one's from the Rocky Mountains, from a
That's good stuff.
Well, I know that bees hibernate in the cold, so maybe it's a smaller window for them to produce. You know what I mean? So,
man.
But then I don't know. That's the thing, because I think these bees are I believe, if I'm not mistaken, these bees are kept in a farm, so it's a little bit more controlled environment. Is it pretty good? You want to try?
Yeah, it's pretty good honey. I haven't used either of these.
Yeah, you can tell it's not processed. Like, you get some honey, it tastes straight up
very
like
rich.
corn syrup.
Very rich.
Yeah.
Like, almost even, like, I mean, it's definitely sweet, but it's more rich than it is sweet. Does that have the seaweed in it?
No, that doesn't have any seaweed.
That's just the honey?
No. But there is raw honey in the fruit infused seaweed.
Okay.
So if you taste the sweetness at all in there, raw honey.
Yeah, that's really good honey.
Yeah, man. So I wanted to talk about the honey because we're coming in the flu season and the temperature is changing. And I just wanted to, because I don't think I really promoted this, I just wanted to use this opportunity to show to everybody that I have raw honey and raw agave. But
oh, nice.
Oh, you have agave?
Yeah,
awesome.
raw
Yeah,
blue. I have the blue agave. The raw
So
blue.
if anybody's trying to make any margaritas,
for sure.
A healthy alternative to simple syrup is actually just agave.
Right. Literally. Yeah. I mean, that's what they make the tequila out of anyway.
Yeah, literally. Yeah. Anyway, it's a natural sweetener for sure. Yeah. Actually, I think I don't know if people put it in coffee. I think there's some people that do put it in coffee though.
Yeah, you can.
Or they use it as a natural sweetener for like a lot of different things.
Agave is really good, and they're both low glycemic index, so it won't make your blood sugar level spike, and they have a lot of health benefits. So, but honey is really amazing though, because the reason I started off with these, right, and I have over 100 products on the site, so I can only talk about so much in one sitting, you know. But these ones, if you didn't get anything else, if you didn't know about anything else on my site, and I had to present some products, these will get you where you need to be. Salts of the earth, sea moss, and the thing about sea moss, it's so customizable. It's 5 different types of raw sea moss you can get, and then we can make it into almost any way you want it to. As far as the gel, we have sea moss juice. I wasn't able to bring some of those today. We have sea moss juice. We have sea moss in its powder form as well. I think I might have powder form on it. Yeah, so this is the sea moss powder. is the granulated form of the sea moss, but I have even one that's even more powdery than that, and this one is more convenient. Like, say if I had a glass of water, I can just tap, put it in my water. You know what I mean?
Yeah, cool.
Way more convenient. So we have that. But the thing that all these have in common is the salt of the earth are necessary for life. The salt that you intake and the type of sodium that you intake defines your quality of life, just straight up. So the best way to implement that is just by changing the salt that you use in your pantry first. Now, and you go on the website, you'll see we have Epsom salt, Dead Sea salt, baking soda, and all of these are natural salts. Now, baking soda can be ingested because, I mean, that's what all the Alka-Seltzer is. That's all Sprite is. It's lemon and lime juice mixed with baking soda. That's why it's carbonated. I don't know if you ever put lemon juice on baking soda or vinegar in baking soda and it fizzes up. Yeah, that's pretty much, that's what the Alka-Seltzer is. It's citric acid. It reacts to the sodium bicarbonate. But that naturally comes from cave deposits. So does Epsom salt. And Epsom salt actually comes from a place, it was discovered in Epsom, England, if I'm not mistaken. Epsom, England, it's a town, Epsom.
I can look it up. I got you right here.
Yeah, it's town. Yeah,
Epsom Common.
Yeah, Epsom, England. And they found that the cows would go to this. The cows would go to this pond or this lake, and they would sit in there and they would heal all their wounds. And they were trying to figure out. They thought it was a magical lake or something, you know. And it turned out that it had a lot of Epsom salt, it naturally occurring.
It's just healthy. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And then the Dead Sea salt. We all know the story of the Dead Sea. You know, Sodom and Gomorrah, and it turned to the pillar of salt and everything. And it's the saltiest sea on earth. It's nothing lives in it except for like really extreme bacteria. Right? Yeah, you just float in it because there's so much salt. So we had that on the site too. Now those are more for external uses. And baking soda, you can use that for anything. You can use that for anti-acid. You can use that to clean. You can use it to clean off your meat, your vegetables. You can use it to put in your laundry, get the stains off. You can use it to deodorize your shoes or anything that stinks. You can put it in the trash can. I mean, it has thousands of uses, and I'm actually making a blog later on this week about 101 ways to use not only sea moss but baking soda. But really, we just wanted to base the emphasis on the salts of the earth because the salts of the earth is what's going to make your body function properly, and it's going to make you stay hydrated. And the sea moss, I'm trying to put this in the best way possible. I don't want to say the sea moss is the salts of the earth, but it's basically a one incomplete multivitamin that can be eaten like a food. Like, you can heat this up and eat them just like they look like noodles. You can eat them just like this. You can blend it up, put it in your food. You can take the powder form. But the reason why these are so potent, and you will hear somebody say that these have 92 minerals and vitamins in the human body, is because it has absorbed the seawater, which has 92 minerals and vitamins that are naturally occurring in the human body. There's also another seaweed called bladderwhack. If you mix it with bladderwhack, it will have the full spectrum and have the complete 102 vitamins and minerals that your body needs. And that's also on the site too. But now, how does that all relate to honey? Honey, interestingly enough, it does similar to what sea moss gel does. So it coats the inner organs and it coats them, and it's antibacterial. So it cleans out your body and it restores the collagen and the keratin and the biotin, everything that your organs and cells and hair and nails and teeth are made out of. And the minerals keep your teeth strong, they keep your bones strong. So if you could, because so many people, it's so many superfoods and teas and everything just being thrown out there, I like to take it simple and start. This is your proper starting point. If you're looking for a healthier life or just looking for something that is a go-to, you know, but you want a natural form, this is it, because it pretty much can do anything. Now, honey is almost the same way. It just has a different consistency and it's more sticky. So the cool thing about honey is it actually never spoils. Honey is the only food that never goes bad. Yeah. And it's a pure sugar solution. I believe it's So I don't know the exact numbers, but I believe, don't quote me, but 33% fructose, another 33% fructose. It's glucose, fructose, and sucrose. Is the 3 sugars.
Use my honey. He said honey.
I've been to hold this. Where was I? So the sucrose, glucose, and the fructose. That's what we got in the honey. But the cool thing about it is, so on the molecular level, when you ingest honey, it breaks down to the same molecular structure as hydrogen peroxide. And peroxide is actually one of the most prevalent chemicals in honey, and that's one of the reasons why it never spoils, because it's sterile. Honey is antibacterial, antifungal, and antimicrobial. So harmful pathogens can't actually live inside of honey or anywhere that honey is at. Honey can also heal wounds. It can stop. It's nature's cough syrup.
What about it?
Yeah. It's literally used for so much.
You can use it
Like,
almost
honey is
anything.
literally used for so
you know
much.
what I mean? You can use it in your seasonings.
Yeah. That might have been. I could be totally wrong, but I could have sworn that's where mead came from.
Yeah.
Was
fermented
because it's honeyed wine.
Mhm.
Like that's what it is. But I can't remember what it was. But there's a reason they started putting the honey in it.
Well, it helps
I
it
do not remember
ferment.
what
It helps it
Yeah.
ferment faster.
Probably preserves a little bit longer too.
Yeah, I'd imagine. Yeah.
Mm.
Because I mean, back in the day, it wasn't even safe to drink water. You know? So like, you'd rather drink a light beer. You know what I mean? Like they would drink light, ale rather than drink water.
Mhm.
Fair.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I guess we'll wrap it up there. We appreciate you for coming on. Honestly, I had a blast.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah.
It's so much cool stuff too.
I learned a lot. Fucking sea moss, salts of the fucking salts of the earth.
Salts of the earth.
Salts of the earth. You got the fucking sea moss gel, the 2 different kinds there, which is awesome. Donovan New Era. Check him out once again on his socials. He has a shop up on Instagram, all that stuff. What's up? Call out the website.
Oh, and the website is thedonovannewer.com. You don't even have to type in www. Just thedonovannewer.com. You can go visit.
Is the 13 there or no?
You can type it in either way. I have both domains. So it's thedonovannewer.com or thedonovannewer13.com. They'll both pop up to the same site.
Sweet.
Cool.
Yeah,
That's awesome, man.
great time. Appreciate you. Any last words you want to tell people? Anything maybe you want to get off your chest? Something you want to say to everybody before we sign off here?
No. I do want to say that if you are trying to do anything healthy, I mean, nobody has to be the Superman healthiest vegan triathlon athlete, but people just want some healthy solutions. And I'm gonna tell them, beyond any product that you can buy, it's more about being in a good mood and doing something that you love, because that'll actually fix your hormones. Now, this food only can help your body do what it already naturally does. But if you're stressed out all the time and not doing something that caters to your pleasure center of your brain or something that makes you happy, no amount of superfoods and stuff is going to help you, because health starts from the mind first and down. And these foods are only to help your mind feel better. But, you have to, it's a choice first. Like, to be healthier is a choice first, beyond any product that you can buy, right? What if you're stuck in the middle of nowhere? Are you just going to be unhealthy because you can't buy sea moss, or you can't go get your vitamin D supplements, So it starts in the mind first. And if you can do that, find something that you like to do and build on that. And, if you have any questions, we're always available. You can chat with us on the website, any social media. And then also, I just want to thank you guys for having me.
Absolutely.
I appreciate it.
Great having you on, man.
Yeah,
It was really
It was
good
a
time, dude.
blast, and I enjoyed
Absolutely.
myself. Yeah, but that's me.
I think we all did too.
Yep.
All right. Well, this has been Fine and Danny. Tune into us next week. This was Donavon Darby with Donovan New Era, Donovan New Era 13. It was a great time having him on. Great time learning about all the different types of stuff he has, as well as health and all the knowledge that we got today. So y'all take care. Love you guys. Until next time, signing off.
Peace.